Without further ado, everybody, our guest tonight, now WWE legend, former NWA and WWE Tag Team Champion, 7-time Hardcore Champion, Bob Hardcore Holly. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on your show, man. It's been a long time.
Listen, but like I said before, this is our pleasure. We have all been big fans of you for a long time. You spent a long time in the business. You know. Now, I mentioned a couple of your titles in the opening. Now let's get right into the wrestling talk. Which title, all the titles you won, you've been across the world, which title means the most to you?
If you really stop and think about it, I really didn't have that many, to be honest. It's just really the tag title and the hardcore title. So, and I honestly think that the hardcore title was probably my best accomplishment, because they put so much emphasis on that belt. And I think the tag titles got so watered down, so much that, and they really didn't put that much emphasis on those belts, too often. And so I truly believe that, my biggest accomplishment, woohoo, was, hardcore title. So, but, I think that would be. Which one?
You won them 7 times. I know for a while there was like round robin tournaments where they were won different times in the same night. But who did you beat that the title meant the most to you, do you think?
I think it was WrestleMania 15, the one with me and Al Snow and Billy Gunn, and I believe it was that one there, because I didn't get to be in too many WrestleManias, and I think WrestleMania 15 was either my second one, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that would have had to have been my biggest.
Awesome, Mike Chiari?
Yeah.
What's that?
Hardcore wrestling, it's obviously what you're best known for, and it's not very prevalent in WWE today, and it's not really prevalent in any of the major promotions in wrestling right now. So I was wondering if you feel like there's still a place for hardcore wrestling, even within something like a PG product like the WWE has, or do you think it would be too restricted if they tried to implement it now?
I honestly think it would be too restricted. Because the thing is, you're using weapons and stuff out there, so because of the direction that they want to go with the PG thing, I think that would kind of be a little bit overboard for them, maybe. I might be wrong. That's just my opinion. Don't hold it against me, but I mean that's just my opinion, what I think. And right now, what I think is not important because of the grand scheme of things. But I just don't think that. There's a place for it right now because of the whole PG-13. And maybe if they get rid of the PG-13 stuff, then, I really do think there is a place for it.
Yeah, Bob, I'm actually really happy we're on the hardcore subject. We've had Al Snow on, and one of my all-time favorite finishes, spots ever in professional wrestling was you versus Al Snow, St. Valentine's Day match year when you tossed him into the Mississippi River. Tell us about that spot. And, to me, it was just iconic. It represents everything that was the Attitude Era, your whole nonsense attitude. So if you could go into that, it'd be great.
Oh yeah, that when they laid everything out for us, and I knew I was going to be in that match. I was pretty jacked about it, and then they were talking about going into the river. Me, Al, and Jerry Briscoe were discussing what we were going to do, and Jerry said, "What do you guys think about going in the river?" And I'm like, "Really? Are you serious?" And I thought he was just, BSing us. And I was like, "If that's what you want," and he's like, "Well, let's think about it." And so when me and Al and Jerry got together later on that afternoon, we started walking through everything, and we walked down to the river, and it was almost like, why not, Didn't know how deep it was or anything right there, but figure what the hell, we'll just do it, because it's all about having a good time and entertaining everybody. So, and then that's pretty much the way it went, and I don't think Al expected me to. I laughed because when I threw Al into the river and I jumped in after him, I started pushing his head underwater, and he swallowed half that damn river. He said I was trying to drown him, which I wasn't. And but it was just kind of funny. You had to be there, but anyway, that was that was an epic moment. It really was.
Al Snow was on the show, and he actually said that he was worried for his life during that bit. He said, geez, he's like, we got in there, and I was in the water with my head under the water, and I didn't expect it. So that's pretty epic. That is pretty awesome. And
yeah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious because the way Al, after the match is over and the way Al talks about stuff, he is so funny. Al is one of my most favorite people on the entire planet, okay? And he is just hilarious the way he tells the story. It's unbelievable. And so it was great.
Mike Cahill, your question?
Yeah, you've had a chance to Bob, you've had a chance to work with a lot of guys in the business, and especially a lot of younger guys. Cody Rhodes, was sort of towards the end there. Which of those young guys that you've worked with and sort of had a personal relationship with are you most proud of to see how they've developed since?
You know what? I'm fixing to tell on myself because I really don't watch the product anymore because I've got so much other stuff going on, and so I really couldn't answer that question. So sorry about that, but I catch it every once in a while, and just but from what I understand, Cody's using my Alabama Slam, during the match and stuff like that. So, my dog's driving me crazy. Yeah, I really don't. I'm not sure. I was pretty close to Cody, and just near the end there, we kind of lost touch with each other, near the end, because I think there was kind of a little bit of animosity there, so, and we really kind of lost touch with each other, and I thought to myself, you know what, just let him be and let him do what he wants to do,
MC, you got another follow-up?
Yeah, could you explain a little bit about the animosity there, or the perceived animosity? I don't know if we're aware of that.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because I don't know if he was upset with me because, like, whenever he would be in the ring, because they wanted to get him over and stuff like that as a baby face, and I'd be in the ring, even house shows, and they would chant my name, even if I was on the apron, and it's like, no, you guys are supposed to be chanting for Cody, okay? He's the one in there doing the work. And I felt bad for him, and I don't know if he was mad at me for that, because I just kind of had the feeling there near the end that because he wouldn't talk to me anymore. We would just discuss what we had to do, and that was it. And we just never really communicated anymore after that, so, and I just like, well, yeah, that's pretty much, if that's the way he wants to be, that's okay, but, I love the guy to death. And to this day, I still haven't heard from him.
Well, listen, you spent plenty of time in the business, and you faced some adversity yourself. You faced a ton of injuries that derailed you from time to time. Of all the injuries you faced, what was I know you broke your neck. You had a staph infection. What set you back the most? I know 15-year career is nothing to blink an eye, especially in the WWE. But, I mean, was there something that held you back a little bit that you feel like, man, I could have reached another level if this hadn't happened?
When I broke my arm. Because at that point, things were really working out for me, and everything was going really good, and they were starting to really go with me. And when I broke my arm, and that set me back, because after that, I never got going again when I came back. There was an automatic, there was a storyline already right there when I came back, and they didn't run with it at all when I came back. They didn't have anything for me, and I knew right there that I was a sitting duck. I was just dead in the water right there. I was going to be, sitting in the back again, and it was like, okay, here we go again. And then but that was okay, because I thought, well, something else will come along, and then I'll get going again. I always kept tried to keep a positive outlook on everything, and so I think that was what really set me back, was when I broke my arm, because everything was going really good up until that time. And then, it's like I said, they didn't even, when I came back 8 months later, I think we did one or two things with Kurt, and that was it. You know, and then Kurt went on to become world champion or something like that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, so nothing ever transpired after that for me.
To kind of piggyback off that injury question, one thing that the WWE has made a conscious effort to eliminate is headshots with chairs and other weapons. And since you were often on the receiving end of headshots, I was wondering if you've noticed any type of negative effects since you retired, and if you support the WWE's efforts to limit concussions.
I support the effort because you know what, you never know. And, I mean, I'm fine. You know, I don't have any, you know, fallout from it. So, you know, I believe I'm all right. You know, I function normally. I don't have any problems, you know, dealing with anything. So, you know.
You did call our show, though.
What's that now?
I said you did call our show, so you're not all there.
Yeah, that's true. That may be detrimental to me.
Yeah. But,
I support their decision to watch that because, you know, you just never know, you know. So I think they're smart in going that direction. I really do. You know, as long, you know, I honestly think, you know, if you're not doing it all the time, because back in the Attitude Era, it was like every night. It was every TV, you know, it was quite often. But I think if they, you know, and I thought it got to the point where it was just too much. People already seen this. Oh, it's the same thing over and over again. But I think now in a pay-per-view situation, I think one here and there is not going to hurt, if you know, and if you're smart about it. You know, just throw your hand up to where you block it, you know, which I never did. But to protect yourself now, I think that's a smart thing to do.